I got to tell you guys, I'm going to say it again. Get your kids out of government-run education. Because apparently, guys, these teachers don't exactly know what they're teaching. We got a very, very disturbing topic to actually talk about here. Now, on Sunday, I actually did a video on this high school student displayed 2 American flags on his truck. The woke school said, no, you cannot fly those flags. They got triggered by it. I believe, guys, that the teachers union, they are very, very anti-American. That's just the way it is. Anti-American. That's what the teachers unions are. Government-run education is failing. They're failing by also deeming everything to be racist without any evidence whatsoever. Out here near me, Houston IHD, taken over by the state. Why? Because the teachers are failing the kids. Houston Independent School District is a disaster. A lot of kids can't read. The state took over. Democrats, they just were outraged by that because the Democrats in Houston have failed. However, we're going to go to another state. I believe this is actually in Colorado, if I'm not mistaken, where a young student displayed the Gadsden flag and the woke school got outraged. They demanded that you don't wear that anymore. Why? Because they associated with racism, and that is not the history of the Gadsden flag. But they don't care. They still said, hey, we believe that it is associated with slavery and racism, and that's just not the case. Here we go, guys. Look here on the Post Millennial. 12-year-old Colorado student kicked out of class over Gadsden flag patch on backpack. Just a patch. And if you guys actually know the history of the Gadsden flag, this actually goes back to the Revolutionary War. Don't tread on me. This was the continental Americans taking a stand against the British. That is what that was about. This had nothing to do with slavery. But of course, your woke schools, they want to make up history. They want to revise history. This is why your kids, folks, are coming out dumber. This is why your kids don't know history. They actually can't read. They can't write. GovEd has failed. And they're using your tax dollars to fail your students. Let's look at some of this, guys. It says here on Monday, a student was kicked out of class at his Colorado Springs charter school after a small Gadsden flag patch on his backpack caused concern among administrators. The 12-year-old, identified only as Jayton, was told that the flag violated school policy regarding the displaying of symbols that, quote, refer to drugs, tobacco, alcohol, or weapons, and that he had to remove the patch if he wanted to return to class. They're triggered by this patch of a rattlesnake. That's pretty much it. It's disgusting, guys. And apparently, you know, one of the teachers there is super woke here. Look here. The Post Millennial even tweets out they kicked him out of school for wearing a Gadsden flag. Here's one of his teacher's cars with all type of propaganda on here, by the way. They actually have Make America Green Again on their bumper here. And it looks like almost thought they said don't mess with Texas. But if you look a little bit closer, I know you guys probably can't see it. It's also kind of hard for me to see here, but it says something like don't mess with trans kids. A takeoff of don't mess with Texas. Yeah, this teacher is pretty woke right here. And they're pushing propaganda. Guys, when I was in elementary school, you know what I used to use as a lunchbox to bring my lunch in? I was a massive Dukes of Hazzard fan when I was a kid. I used to have the General Lee. The General Lee has the battle flag of Virginia on top of the car. It was a family-friendly show. Love that show. John Snyder, Tom Wopak, love that show. And I had on my lunchbox the General Lee with the battle flag of Virginia. Nobody was saying that it was racist. Nobody. Everybody loved the Dukes of Hazzard. I was allowed, 1980s, to bring that to school. I'm pretty sure now, if I actually brought the Dukes of Hazzard lunchbox to school, I'm pretty sure I'd be kicked out of school because wokeness has infected everything. But let's go ahead and look at this here, man, because this young man has some base parents here as well. And the parents are doing a good job, it seems, but the teacher or whoever this is, not very smart. Let's go and roll this.
Oh, thank you.
Do they know what the Gadsden flag is? That it's a historical flag?
So the reason that they do not want the flag, the reason we do not want the flag displayed is due to its origins with slavery and slave trade.
That's not the origins there. The slave trade had nothing to do with the Gadsden flag.
That is what was, that is the reasoning behind why we do not want it displayed.
The Gadsden flag?
The Don't Tread on Me.
Okay. Which is the Gadsden flag? Okay, so he's, what's going to happen if he doesn't take it off?
He is able to go. I was actually just telling him, like, I was upset that he was missing so much school. I'm like, so I asked if, can he just take his stuff out of his bag and go back to class? Like, I just want him to go back to class. The bag can't go back if it's got the patch on it, because we can't have that in and around other kids. So that's what I was trying to, and then he said you were close. So I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with slavery. That's like the Revolutionary War patch that was displayed when they were fighting the British. Like, that wasn't, that's the revolution. Maybe you're thinking of like the Confederate Confederate flag.
Okay, I am
just here to enforce.
No, I am here to enforce the policy that was provided by the district.
Okay.
And definitely, you have every right to not agree with it. I mean,
because the ACLU says that he's allowed to wear that. If you like go on their website, it's like says in big letters.
All I'm saying is that
unless there's like a ban on patches, period. Like if you said there's no patches allowed at the school, you cannot display what you think or anything like that, or what cheer or anything like that. I think it's like one-sided, you know, because you allow some patches but not other patches.
Kids have patches like other names and like the American flag and backpacks.
Yeah, that was like flown during the revolution with. I just don't understand that at all.
So what I can do is,
and if you go onto the ACLU's website, let's talk to someone.
I can have you speak to. I can have you speak to Jeff Yoakum again. Okay. And then he can refer you to our person at the district.
Okay.
Because, like I said, we're following district policy. Okay. Is what we're doing. Okay. So. The last thing I want is him out of class.
Yeah, I know. He takes his classes seriously. He studies.
Then let him go back to class. Let him go back to class.
He wants to get straight A's. He did that. He made honor roll when he was here before. Yep. He intends to do that again right now, but it's hard because he keeps missing class for this. So
I understand that.
Yeah, and I mean, we teach him to always stick up for your beliefs. And I mean, you're going over the revolution for 7th grade. I mean, the founding fathers stood up for what they believed in against unjust laws. This is unjust.
Okay, like I said, we're upholding a policy that was provided to us, which we have to uphold.
Okay, can you show me where the policy?
Yeah, so you heard that, guys. You heard that. The parent educated this administrator or whoever she is that the Gadsden flag wasn't associated with slavery. Now, I was actually looking at this here before I started recording, and check this out. I learned something also myself here. Now, look here. Connor Boyack tweets out, the director then argued that the flag is associated with hate groups, linking to this weak article that cites a graphic design scholar who claimed that, quote, some may now see the Gadsden flag as a symbol of intolerance and hate, or even racism. You know what, guys? It's kind of like the OK sign. The OK sign was just the OK sign until the past few years. Some wokes out there deemed it to be white supremacy. And then all of a sudden, man, leftists and woke organizations have actually fired people from their jobs for throwing up the OK sign. Yeah, this doesn't make any sense, man. It does not make any sense. Now, check this out here, guys. I believe that this next part here. Look here. Yeah, Tony Kennett. He tweets out, rattlesnake imagery in the American Revolution was hosted and fueled by Benjamin Franklin's papers and interests in Massachusetts and Pennsylvania. Franklin spent the latter part of his life petitioning Congress to free the South's slaves, but Assistant Dean Equity doesn't know that. Not to mention the Culpeper Minutemen, who incorporated 14 black and native men and a black flag bearer, a greater diversity than many other regiments. And look right there. The Gadsden symbol right there. It actually says here, liberty or death, don't tread on me with the rattlesnake. Black men were a part of that. I mean, this is ridiculous, man. I've told you guys time and time again, man, I'm really, really all for homeschooling. I'm all for it, man. I'm definitely for homeschooling because I believe that parents, man, they need to take back over their education of their kids because the schools are failing students. They're pushing propaganda on them. Guys, believe it or not, even though I have 2 degrees, I've actually learned more about the economy, the way things work, by just growing up and living life than what I actually learned in school. I'm just being real. When I was in school and I studied finance with economics concentration, they teach you Keynesian economics. John Maynard Keynes was a liberal, and he was all about government spending. And he was definitely on the left. And that's what they actually push in schools. And I don't believe that works. When you got too much government, guys, things go south. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we will catch you next time.